very qualified to talk about this because I bombed for years in stand-up, so I know what I did wrong. And one of the things I did wrong was I didn't let the audience know where the ending could be.
Yeah.
And plus, if you're talking about your own life, you can never go wrong. Nobody can really steal your style, and it will help you strongly build your style.
You know who exactly that sounds like? Spalding Gray, I think.
But also Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby does that when you think about it. He'll take one story and it'll be a 30-minute. It could be the dentist, but it goes into his daughters. He digresses into his kids about it, and then back to the story.
And they follow him the whole time.
And they follow him the whole time.
Yeah. Let's go over here.
On your days at Saturday Night Live, do you remember a host being particularly bad when you were there?
Well, you know, I was like kind of out of the loop as far as hosts. I mean, everybody always said Chevy Chase, like they were probably, but I thought Chevy Chase was funny as hell when he came on. He was just a real bullbuster, but it was like, it was funny, you know, like he wasn't doing it, he wasn't being malicious. He was just like, you know, he's just crazy, you know what I mean?
They all killed him in that book, though.
They killed him in that book.
Yeah.
But I was there that time. I thought he's funny.
Yeah, you're just reading this book, and it's everyone's memories of Saturday Night Live, and anytime Chevy came back to host the show, everyone just acted like he's ruined everything.
Yeah. But he was such a funny bullbuster in a certain way that it's hard to, you know, it wasn't like he was just bullying people. He'd bust lawns, he's just a hyper guy. He's like a kid.
Right.
He's like a little kid.
Right.
He just goes and just fucks things up and throws shit. But it's funny the way he does it.
But why do you think it is? What is it about his personality that people were just, or was it the fact that he was already successful, had money? You know, what bothered him?
Well, I guess it was just a style of personality that comedians, of course, love. Because, like, one time he came on the show, and I was warming up the crowd before the show. So it's like a kind of important thing. You're up there warming up and trying to get little laughs, and shows about to start. And he walks through the crowd, and they all start applauding like crazy. And he comes up to me, he leans in and hugs me. He goes, "I just wanted to fuck you up," and walked away.
Is there a particular bit that you wrote for In Living Color that you're the most proud of?
My In Living Color. Well, they barely used any of my bits, but I wrote one bit. It's sad that I remember this bit, but it was for Snow. Do you remember Snow? He was a Canadian rapper.
Oh, sure.
And it was Informer, that song Informer. And my bit was, in 4 months, you know, you're going to be back in Toronto with a day job. It turned out to be very prescient. I'm not proud that I remember that bit to this day, but like I said, I didn't get a lot of things on. Jim Carrey, which shows once again my great acumen, was leaving to go do Ace Ventura 1. And I remember thinking to myself, this poor idiot is walking out of his last big shot here in Living Color. Because I had read that script. That script was shit until Jim Carrey made it Jim Carrey's.
Right.
That script was floating around Hollywood for years. They're trying to get people. I even read it. That's how low they got.
Yeah, and I'm sure it still reads like shit.
I'm
mean,
sure it does.
Really,
he just took it and made it.
Yeah. So you were like, don't do this, Jim. Whatever.
No, I didn't have that kind of power.
Right. Now, did you move out to LA?
When he's getting his makeup. Hey, what do you think of this show?
Did you move out to LA during that time, or?
Yes, that's when I was out in LA. That was you saw my it was right before SNL.
Mm-hmm.
I had my writer's experience there.
Is that did that change the way you looked at the world to live in LA for a while? Because you're such a New York guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. LA's good in a certain way because it gives you a real picture of, like, showbiz. You know, you just drive around by yourself in a car for hours at a time every day. And you really confront yourself, you know. So it's good. It's reality. But, I mean, I would, it's not really a place I would want to spend my life, but I like LA, all right. But, yeah, when I was writing there, it was interesting because also as a writer, instead of being a performer, I had to look at it from that point of view, too.
Sure.
So that was a good experience. It was good for when I got hired by SNL. I was already a writer, so I had experience.
Let's go over here.
Hey, what do you think of the current SNL squad?
Hilarious. I swear to God, I think they're fucking hilarious. I can't believe it. They're really funny. I mean, Kristen Wiig, of course, but like Bill Hay, and all of them. Just everybody does one thing that I'm like, I mean, I don't even watch it that much, but every time I watch it on fucking Hulu all the time and shit. And like Fred Armisen doing that comedian, you know, he does that comedian in the newspaper and the Army jacket. Just everybody does so much shit, but she's like a damn. And even Justin Timberlake, I don't want to like this fucking guy. But he did that skit. I keep watching that sketch, you know, Classic Peg, where it's like, you know, him with just her, she's like the target lady, and he starts going into this.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. I think they're as good as any. I mean, the cast I was looking at, the people I was with, Will and Sherry, all that, they were fucking amazing. They brought the show back. The show was about to get canceled. Remember?
Well, it was about that time, too, that they started to focus on women and having taken their focus off it. It's a really strong woman show now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Totally. And look at Kristen Wiig and look at all these other people.
Yeah.
Jenny Elliott and all that.
Is it tough for you to write for women? Because you have this kind of masculine point of view. Is that easy for you when you're writing your screenplays and stuff?
I mean, no. I mean, I don't know. We'll know if one of them will ever get fucking made. Then I'd love to be criticized. But as it is, it's just me in my room and my coffee friends. The script. You're right, Kyle.
It's great, Colin. You know,
that's a women character, right?
It's a sin. It's a sin. This isn't bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Colin, any favorite moments from remote control, either on air or backstage?
Well, I mean, on air, the most favorite moment was what happened was if you hit all the videos, they'd be lying in this Craftmatic adjustable bed at the end, and if you won all the videos, you'd win a Mitsubishi Montero. That was the big prize, Mitsubishi Montero. So one kid, you'd have to guess the 7 videos, and it was hard. You know, you guess the videos, so they're like sitting there, and they're lying in the bed, and they have to go, okay, that's White Snake, that's fucking, was not was. That's the fucking Stone Roses. And then this one kid, I can't remember, but I remember the kid actually came up to me years later and go, some girl was like halfway through, she had 6 out of 7, and she said, me and Kari, the girl who was on the show with me, we leaned in and whispered the last one. I'm sure Mitsubishi's pissed at that one.
Colin, I always know that this is a good Unmasked when the hour goes by so fast. I feel like we just got to scratch the surface with you, man. So it's just a pleasure. The legend, Colin Quinn. Let him hear it. That was great.